Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mango Kango here, and welcome to another build video. And today we're going to be going over a number of the things in this video that you can see. Unfortunately, not the car. I know some of you really want to see how I built this, but just to show you something real quick. Yeah, this could take a while. So I don't think this is something I'm going to be able to make a tutorial video on, but I could definitely give some tips as to how I made it. But for now, we're going to stay away from something like that. Okay. Alright, so we're going to start with something that you probably clicked on this video for, and that's the phonograph. So in making this, I actually was trying to make a record player before the record player got released, but I figured I'd do it a little differently, and I kind of liked the way it looked being a phonograph instead. So today, that's what we're going to be doing first. To make it simple, you're going to want to grab a sink right away. Have the faucet facing away towards the left, just like this. And you're going to want to take it and color it brown. Then go in hide mode. Now take your blender, face the handle backwards towards the wall, and you're going to line it up with the center of the right stair, just like that. Okay, and you're going to go in hide mode again. And then you're going to want to go down to your Victorian set, which you do need for this. And then you're going to want to face those knobs on the small cabinet. You're going to want it facing the wall, just like this. So you're going to want to place two of them next to each other in this fashion, and then go in hide mode again and do the same thing, except since you placed it here last time, we got to place it here. But you want the knobs facing you this time. And this is to get the knobs as hidden as we can, because they're both going to be merged into one another. Go in hide mode one last time and get your last ones in. So this one you want to be one away from the wall, so like that. Go in hide mode. Just trust my placement here. As long as you're following the steps, you should be fine. And here again, you had your last one right here. You're going to want your next one right here. Okay, just like that. Now go in /show mode and make sure you got at least all these steps correct. Alright, and once you make your way back, you're going to want to color everything, and this does look correct, so just color it real quick. And obviously you don't want to color you can color the knob a little bit of a darker color if that's your thing, go for it. In fact, you can make it any color you want. I mean, I could even probably do that and it wouldn't look too bad, but we're gonna go for that just so you can kind of see that dot a little bit more. You want to go in hide mode again. You can go into your Victorian set. You're gonna want to grab this chair right here, and you're gonna want to place it all the way to the back, just like this. Okay, you want it just touching the back, and you want it kind of against this wall. You don't want it in the wall, so not like this, like this. Okay, and then you're gonna want to take your chair, and I colored the middle part darker, and then to match the wood on the outside, I color it like that. Kind of gives it a nice contrast. In fact, you could do any color in here that you think looks nice. That doesn't look too bad either, so maybe I'll stick with that instead. Alright, and then for the last bit here, you're going to want the bells. Now this is a holiday item, however, I have an alternative that makes this look decently good as well. But this is for the little thing that makes the noise. I don't know the technical terms for this stuff, I apologize. Now that you're in hide mode, you're going to want to grab a sign or something that has a one stud hitbox. The sign just makes it really easy, but you're going to want to grab your bells now, and you're going to want to spam rotate until it flips up towards you, just like this. And then you're going to want it at the right here. So from the furthest most up front part of the stair, you want to go 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2. Alright, and just right there. You want to take away your sign, and you're going to want to just color everything real quick, just to kind of paint match it to the same color. Okay, and then you can go in show mode. Alright, then you're left with something that looks like this. Now, this looks pretty weird in and of itself, because you got a bunch of this stuff dangling around going on. So you're gonna want to either make a table on your own, or find something that's the right height. Now the unfortunate thing is that there's not many items that kind of sit at a good height for this. But what I do know, is that this one does sit at the right height. Okay, so if you take this, place it down, go in hide mode, and place another one. As you can see, that's a fairly good height for this thing. And then obviously you can color it any color you want. So if I wanted it to be a darker wood, I could do that and color the glass to make it somewhat transparent. Or you could just paint match it like that. Whatever you feel is necessary color wise. But yeah, that's what you get out of it. Looks very, very nice in my opinion. Alright, now that you're in hide mode, you're going to want to take the church podium, place it down, take the new trash bin and face it vertically, right there. You're going to want to delete your church podium before you go in hide mode once more. And then place your church podium again, and now place it horizontally instead of vertically. Alright, and now that you're back in show mode, you should get something that looks like this, which isn't too bad of an alternative if I'm being honest. It still kind of does the job. It's not as strong, but I'd say it's definitely still up there. However, I can show you the end result real quick here for you guys. Alright, then up next is our TV stand with the game console underneath it, or DVD player, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so you're going to want to start off by placing 2 stairs, just like this, and have a 2 gap in between. Alright, then you're going to want to take your sign and rotate it face flat, just like this. Somewhere in the middle, doesn't have to be specific. Take your camera, which you can get from the red present that I have right here. You can buy them for 2,000 coins by the manager's office. Okay, and take your camera, and you're going to want to line it up exactly with the edge of these and on top of the sign. Okay, now go in hide mode, and you're going to want to place your patio coffee table. Okay, and then go in hide mode again, and you're going to grab another sign, place one there, take another sign, and it's just going to go on the opposite side like that. So now you have 2 1 stud block high items here that you can walk through so that you can place stuff down. Alright, and then you're going to want to get a lot of toilet paper for this one. You're going to rotate your toilet paper roll till it is the absolute correct direction. Alright, till it's like this. So you want that roll part that sticks up facing upwards. Okay, and you want the legs sticking towards the wall. Okay, and then you're just going to want to take your first one and place it right there. Take your next roll and get it to the correct rotation. Okay, and then place your next one right here. They can't be pushed in next to each other, which sucks. So you have to put it as close as you can, which is generally going to be right here. Now you're going to want to delete your signs, go in hide mode again, and you're going to want to literally do almost the exact same thing with the signs. Alright, and you're going to want to grab your paper towel rolls again and rotate them till they are the correct direction. So last time we placed them 1, 2 away. This time we're going to place it 3. And if you were paying attention, that also means it's going to be directly on the line, whereas the other one was in the center of the sign. That's also another key difference. And now that we have this one here for us, we know that the next one has to be the closest we can get it, which is right here. And there should be about 1 stud's length in between for these. Alright, now you would think we were done, but we're not. We have 1 more roll to place, so we're going to go in hide mode one last time. Place our signs, and our signs also help us with the borders of the signs. The hitbox helps us align too, so that's actually extremely useful. So given that information, it actually makes it very easy to pinpoint where we need to place this last paper towel roll. Now this last paper towel roll actually needs to go in the center, okay? And all these rolls should be exactly meeting the front of these stairs for reference. Okay, now you can delete everything that you have except for obviously your marker blocks and the toilet paper roll. Now you're gonna wanna go check this out and really make sure you have it right. Alright, and that looks perfect. So you might be thinking, well, it looks a little weird right now, and yeah, that's true. You can make this all white, but for the sake of this, I'm going to be making it all this darker black color. I'm gonna be coloring literally everything here, that color, to make it all blend in as much as possible. Okay, and then you can take your light and make it any color you want. I'm gonna make mine green. All right, now that you have that, you can go ahead and color your other stuff right away. Okay, and then you're left with something like this, which looks pretty good in my opinion. You guys are more than welcome to perfect this more. I think 2 paper towel rolls on the edges and maybe some on the back could make this look almost like insane. Like you wouldn't even be able to tell what it is. But for making it easy, this is a good enough illusion for now, especially with the rest of the stand that I'm going to be showing you. Alright, so for the rest of this, you're going to want to go in hide mode. You're going to want to get 2 treadmills. So again, it gets a little expensive, but sometimes things just cost quite a abundance in this game, if I'm being honest. Okay, so you can place one facing that way. And you're going to want to color it right away, as it does get pretty hard to color it later. And color your other one. Now it doesn't have to be gray, but for this video I'm doing gray. Go in hide mode again. You're going to want to grab 2 church podiums, one like that and one like that. Color them both the color that you want for the whole thing, and I chose gray. Now as the TV is a little difficult to place sometimes without something behind it, you could have just kept those church podium things there, that's my bad. But nonetheless we're fine, so we can place our TV now. Just like that. And then you can color around the edge the color you want, and then color the TV the color you want. Now you can go ahead and delete your marker blocks because this is done. Alright, then you're left with something like this. So yeah, it's not bad at all. It looks pretty good. And obviously if you're sitting down, I mean from this point of view it looks like insane. Like this just looks really good in my opinion. And now we're going to do something that kind of fits the theme of the TV, and I'll put it next to the TV stand, and that's some speakers. So for the speakers, wherever you want to place them, in this case we're placing them by the TV, you're going to want to place a stair block. Sorry, you're going to want to place a marker block, and that way you get a general, location for this stuff. Go in hide mode, and you're going to want to grab your coffee machines. You're going to need quite a few for this. So placing one in the center, going in hide mode, placing another one against it here like that, hide mode. We'll place one a little bit higher, and this is what it looks like above, that way you know how to place the other one. So most of it is on the upper half, so it'll look like this. Now you can do this all the way around in a complete circle, or even just doing 3, but for the sake of this video I only did 2 because you don't really look at the back side, and it just makes it easier and cheaper for you guys. So I wanted to kind of include it in its easier state right here. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Right now it just kind of looks like a giant black pillar. Alright, and for this last bit it does get a little bit harder to get these circles lined up where you want them. But you're going to want one here and one here, so one is facing the pillar, then you got one facing the edge of the pillar like this. And you'll see why that's important. So in hide mode here, we're actually going to want to take our dojo shelf and make sure that overhang is facing this way, towards you. Okay, and then take your little tea kettle thing, whatever it's called, I'm not actually entirely sure, and have that point sticking upwards. And now you're going to want to make sure it's lined up with this stair, and that's what this stair is for. Alright, see how it's like on that overhang bit, that's a half pixel out, and now it's lined up with this stair. So that's exactly where we want it. And obviously you want the circle part facing towards you. And then you're going to want to rotate this with the handle facing down. Alright, just like this. And they should just fall right on top of one another. And then you can get rid of everything now. Alright, and then to get rid of that little white bit, you can color it whatever you want for the speakers. Like that, or you can go for a lighter color if you wish. And yeah, that's what you're left with. Looks very, very nice. This whole setup looks insane, so... Alright, and then up next we have the washing machine. Now this is a washing machine 2.0, so it's going to be, in my opinion, a lot better than the other washing machine, and hopefully easier to make than the other washing machine. I just think this one looks a lot smoother, and it's actually smaller, so it will fit in a block space like this. You can actually put it in between something. So overall, I think this is its final, I guess, form as far as the washing machine goes. It could also be a dryer as well, so yeah, let's get into how to make it. So first up, you're just going to want to have some kind of wall. Unfortunately, this object doesn't go against the side wall over here, so if you, because there's this little weird finicky thing where if you try and place an object on the back, it can't because of this like thing he's got going on here. So really the only way around this would be to build your own wall and then building these across like that. And that's what I did over here, so it's the same exact thing pretty much. But yeah, let's get into it. So once you find your spot where you want it, you're gonna want to take your marker block, and now we know it's in between these two, so it's going to be right here. And then you're going to start by grabbing a band button again, just like the last one, except this one is going to get colored one solid color, both sides. Alright, and once you have your band button, you can go in hide mode. And then you're going to want to grab a sign. You're going to want to place it all the way in the back. And this sign is going to be so that we can rebound the blender off of the back wall without it sitting flat against the back wall, because we need it sticking out one. You're going to take your blender and rotate it, and then the handle we want to stick out to this side, because it's going to act as kind of a handle, kind of not, but either way we need that front of the blender for the main bit of the washing machine. And then you're going to want to put it in the exact center of the sign, or in other words, one stud up. Now the cool thing about using a blender in this scenario as well, if you used a blender anywhere in the object, it would make the blender noise, which sounds a lot like a washing machine going off. And then for this, you can just kind of color the blender a solid color. In the end, you can color it without being in hide mode, but for now I'm just coloring it right away. And then you just want to delete your sign, then you can go in hide mode again. Okay, and now it's time for the coffee machines. So for this, you're going to want 6 coffee machines. There's going to be 4 that make up the washing machine and 2 that go a little bit above. So for this, it's actually really easy, and this is why I like it so much. So you just place your first one, go into hide mode, place your next one, and this one's going to be lined up with this one. The other one was back here. Oh, sorry, the other one was back here. Now this one's going to be up here. Okay, and you're going hide mode again. And now just repeat the same thing on the other side. So this one's going to go here, and this one is going to go here. Alright, and that was pretty easy. And then lastly, for the top part, you just want it to sit one stud above, just like this. Go in hide mode and do the same thing over here. And that's the washing machine done. You can go in /show. Alright, and if you didn't color your coffee machines, you're kind of left with something like this. Now you could have a black washing machine, it doesn't really matter. Just going to be coloring it a bit of a lighter color all around. And there we go. That's the washing machine. You got the on and off button, and it still continues to have only one area. It gets covered up by this, which is really nice. So you only have 2 buttons, which makes the most sense. And then the blender can turn on and off, and it makes sound. Oh, and also you can get rid of these marker blocks next to it. But yeah, it looks almost like it's meant to be in the game. And as you can see, this 2.0 version fits exactly in this area right here. And it also doesn't have that glitchiness going on that I know some of you were having trouble with still. Alright, for this next one we're going to be making kind of like a little table. And it's very unique because it has a lower area to it. So I think that makes it quite interesting. So you're going to want to take two tot chairs and face them towards one another like this. And then preferably I think you're going to want to place your marker blocks like that rather than on the side. Then you're going to want to take your signs and you can just place two of them right away. You want them at least one stud above the stair for this, so I mean in this case like that would work just fine. You're just going to want to place one on the other side. Alright, perfect. And now we want to grab our clocks and spam rotate. These do rotate pretty easily, so there's not much to worry about. Okay, so for your first one, you're going to want it to be one stud inward. So as you can see here, if I can get it right. Okay, so it sits here on the edge and you want it one stud forward. So we're going to do that on the other side. Taking your other clock. You're going to need 4 clocks for this as well. And then pushing it in one. There we go. And then you can delete both your signs. And then you need to go in hide mode one last time. And then just repeat the process with the signs. And you're going to have these doing the same exact thing. Just this time you want them 2 studs. So 1, 2. And if it makes it easier, it should line up exactly with this middle line right here. As you can see, it's lined up in the middle. And then this other clock, you can just rest against that clock. So if we can get it there, boom, just like that. And you can get rid of your signs and all your marker blocks and go in show mode. Okay, and then you get something like this, and obviously you don't want those colors because they're a bit stand out. But yeah, you can color it whatever you want, even the top. So if I wanted the shelves to be more white and the little parts holding up the table to be less white, you could do that. Just remember to color the underside of the clocks. And then you get something like this, and this looks pretty cool for how simple it was to make. You know, I can even, let's take one of the new items, put it on there, the cookies, pretty cool. If we take one of the most common plants, you could put that on there too. And then I believe you can even fit stuff underneath. And if it is something small enough, you can technically fit it underneath. If you do want something bigger, like the pot or whatever, the kettle thing right here, you can, I believe that's about 1 stud high off the ground, and you should be able to get it in there fairly okay. But yeah, it just works really nice, and it's different. Alright, and next up we have these extremely easy shelves to make. So this is using part of the new update with these map sign things. They're supposed to be used like this. In my opinion, this side is a lot more useful, and it's even more useful when you can rotate it just like that. And yeah, it's really that simple. You don't need to go in hide mode or anything, so you can just place it wherever you want it, and then do the same thing again, and then place that one where you want it. And then as simple as it was to do that, it's simple to color it. You just color it the colors you want, and then whatever edging you want on it. And what's really cool about this too is, for some reason, when you place it here, and I think it's because of the hitbox on the map itself underneath, the objects actually turn diagonal, so you get a lot more versatility, I think that's the word, or a lot more unique rotations. Pretty cool. I mean, I could even put the cake on there if y'all want me to. There's the cake and the globe. Yeah, they can all just rest on there. It's really easy, and the lower the less you're gonna see that underside. But it's very simple and does a lot for the build, so I think this is something really cool in my opinion. Alright, and up next we have our bamboo. The bamboo in the pot can be a little bit hard to get the bamboo sticks where you want them. So for this build, you're going to want to grab a stair block right away as your marker. Place that wherever you plan on placing your plant. And then we're going to start with the bottom bit, or the pot bit. So you can grab your pot right here. You can just line it up with the stair block. It's nothing too crazy. Go in hide mode. And you're going to want to rotate this thing upside down. Just spam rotate on it, or take a glass pane and get more predictable rotations. Alright, and once it's upside down, you just want to make sure those handles are in the same spot and place it like that. Alright, then you're going to want to go in hide mode. Then you're going to want to grab another block of some sort and put it here so that there's exactly, you know, that one block space in between. And you're going to want to grab a dojo shelf. And this is so we can get a half pixel alignment, because this one requires that. Just kind of like the speakers as well. So now that you have your dojo shelf down, you're going to want to grab your barrel. And then you're going to want to make sure that this thing is in the center of this stair block and is on that half pixel area that sticks out. So literally just like that, you can see it's sitting on that edge piece and it's centered. Okay, and I can get rid of your items here. Now I just want to make sure that this is actually in the right spot, so let's go look at that real quick. Alright, and that's pretty dang good. Now for whatever reason, you're not actually able to get this like perfectly centered. So you're just gonna we're gonna have to deal with that for now. And the reason we do it like that is because there's no other way to really get this like dirt look for the inside of the pot. And then for the dirt, you can obviously color that a bit of a darker color. I'm sure there's better ways to go about doing this whole pot thing. I just do it this way because it's pretty simple. Alright, and now for the bamboo. Now this part can be slightly more difficult, but we are going to need to place something on the ceiling for this. So we just want this to be about right there. And you can even place this here for another reference as well. And then we can place our glass pane here. Now you're going to want to grab your tiki torch. Now the reason we have this up here, well, you're going to find out in a second, it needs to have something on the top to actually get it to go in place. Because if you try going on the bottom, it doesn't work. And that's because if you watch the rotations video, you know that the side that it wants to stick to is on the top. And that's why we're doing it that way. Okay, so this is a good spot for that. Then you're going to want to rotate it again. And the sign doesn't always work. The higher up it is, the better chance it has at rotating the correct direction. It's just a really hard item to get where you want it to be. Alright, and we got our second one upside down. So if you want different heights, you're going to have to use something other than a regular block for this, and that can be a little bit more difficult. Alright, and for the last bit, you just want to place your plant. It can be anywhere on the ground, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to put it exactly right here. Okay, and then we can get rid of everything now. Alright, and then you get something like this, and then you really just want to kind of color this to your liking here. And it does peek through the bottom a little bit, and that's why I said, you know, if someone could find a better pot for this that's kind of wide, that would help. But from the front, like if you have this against a wall, you won't notice that. And you can also perk this up one stud up using a dojo shelf or a sign. So an example of this would be to place your dojo shelf in hide mode relatively here, and then just place this like that. But yeah, as this, it doesn't look too bad. And you know, I think if you're going for bamboo, this is one of the better options you have right now, besides the bamboo wall. But I mean, that thing's a bit big, let's be honest, and bulky, and this too is also a little bit bulky, and maybe you just want it in a pot sometimes, and I think that this is a good solution to that. Alright, and then lastly, a very, very simple one here. I just want to demonstrate how I did the little like pots and stuff that were on the wall with the little cups and whatnot. So this one's pretty darn simple. But yeah, for this one you can just place your sled on the wall and make it more of this silver color. And then you can place your stair block and get this aligned where you want it. So have that there, go in hide mode, and then grab your little teapot set up here, and just try and get it the right direction. I think that's good. Yep, just like that. And then just place it wherever you think will work. So, I mean, in this case, probably here is fine. And there you go, using the slide with the combination of these. Obviously the lighting isn't the greatest over here, so let's just give it some light. That's kind of what it will look like. You can have a countertop, and I think it'll look pretty nice. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I do have something like literally right for the next video coming up. It's quite interesting what I've found out. The hint is for the next video, it has something to do with a new version of these stairs. The stairs that we all have been using, the dojo shelves, I found something quite interesting that might be a considerable replacement as far as like material wise goes. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content. Have a good one.